The concept of superhero legacies has a long and generally favourable history, with the mantles of caped Avengers and roof-hopping vigilantes alike being passed on to a whole new generation of superheroes. One of the most popular of these was probably the Young Avengers from creators Alan Heinberg and Jim Cheung.
But here we are in the era of Marvel now, and Kieran Gillen has picked up the mantle and created a new series of Young Avengers, using some of the surviving members of the original team along with Kid Loki. They're a couple of years older, but are they necessarily any wiser?
Well, I've got to say I'm always a little wary of fresh young faces in the Marvel Universe. Because what I want to see is people with superpowers punching other people with superpowers in the face. That's it. You know, I don't want to see young people with superpowers wondering about who they should date and updating their Facebook page.
Yeah, but they can do both.
Yeah, but will they? That's my concern. Because what I absolutely do not want to see is a series that turns into basically the OC in capes.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about that in the first issue. It's got some really nice action sequences in here.
Yeah, but it also has 4 pages of Wiccan and Hulkling discussing their relationship in just a barrage of unnecessary exposition.
Okay, so maybe that section was a little overlabored, and I will admit it did affect the pacing, which starts really strongly with Kate Bishop, aka Hawkeye, and Marvel Boy waking up after hooking up on a spaceship.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is pretty awesome. And then it follows a beautiful 2-page spread of a pretty intense Skrull attack.
Damn Skrulls.
Damn Skrulls.
They're always messing up morning snuggles.
know.
It's just not on.
It's rude.
But I've got to say, Jamie McKelvey and Mike Norton's art works really well in this, especially, as you say, in those double-page spreads.
Yeah,
There's a couple of those in this issue, and they both work really well. But I'm not worried about how it looks. I'm worried about the consistency of the story.
No, I do understand. I wish that there was a little bit more character development with some of the other characters, like with Miss America Chavez and Kid Loki.
Yeah.
When they show up, it's quite dynamic and it's quite intriguing as to why they're reacting that way to each other, but it's never actually explained. But I guess that's what the rest of the series is for.
Yeah.
Overall, I really enjoyed this issue. The relationships are fresh and new, but they still have that feeling of being lived in, because you know, it is a couple of years on from when we first got introduced to these. I think it's a buy from me. I think it's going to be a really cool series.
I still just do have a concern that it's going to be too much focus on the relationships and not enough on the biffo. But that said, you can't get away from the fact that it does look really good.
It does.
And the characters are quite fully formed and believable.
They look great in this.
There's a lot of positive things here. So I'm going to give it a borrow, and I'm going to see how it progresses, whether the speed and the action picks up.
Fair cool.